Well, time now for another In the Legal Know with Vincent J. Russo. And today, Vincent is here to talk about the challenges facing the 13 million so-called solo agers in this country. Vincent, I have not heard that term before. Tell me about solo agers.
Yes.
Agers, angels, I was going to say. Well, they
are angels, right? 13 million of them. And it's growing. Solo agers. These are now an identifiable group of individuals who are over 65 years of age. They are single, divorced, or widowed, and they don't have any children, or they have children but they don't live nearby, or family that lives nearby. So they're independent, but they're going to need support services from friends, community, and professionals. And this number of individuals in this solar ager group is growing tremendously because we're living in a mobile society, we're living longer, and there's this life preference of living independently and on one's own.
Mm-hmm. And obviously, as we age, our health challenges increase. Tell me about some of the health challenges facing solo agers.
Yeah, so we all have challenges, right?
We sure do.
That's right, but these may be more heightened because of the lack of the immediate family being available or to support them. And so it's important that solo agers routinely have medical checkups, that they document their meeting doctors and keeping their medications so that if anyone has to step in, there's a place where this information is available. It's important that they think about if they're not able to get out and around, that there are telehealth services that they can take advantage of. So staying on top of their health is important. I think where the challenge is the system is so complex, the healthcare system, and it's hard when you're on your own, to figure things out, and also to figure out the insurance coverages.
Yep. Boy.
Very, very difficult. So reaching out for additional support in other ways is going to be the path for solo agers.
And that's like the immediate healthcare concerns, but let's talk about long-term healthcare.
So now it's even more heightened.
Yeah.
That as those solo agers age and need long-term care services, who is going to step in to help them and navigate the services and where they're going to reside? So here's a list of concerns and challenges. Adequate housing, where are they going to live? How are they going to pay for the long-term care? Who are they going to identify as fiduciaries? Those are the people to step in and help make decisions, and caregivers. There's a risk of abuse. When someone is out on their own, they're more vulnerable to people trying to take advantage of them. And also caring for children with special needs and pets. We have a lot of solo agers with dogs and cats, and they need to take care of them. And how is that going to play out if they need long-term care and they're not able to manage on their own?
I'm going to say, is that where lifetime planning comes in?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that becomes really critical, lifetime planning. And I would start with just the daily activities of life, that it's important that solo agers, they create a routine, they create relationships with friends, and also in their community, that they pay attention to their well-being, that they socialize. These are all factors that come into life planning. Then we get to the real challenge, which is, okay, what happens if I have a catastrophic illness or I'm incapacitated even for a week, never mind months? Who's going to step in? And that's where decisions have to be made about appointing an agent in a healthcare proxy, having a durable power of attorney for financial decision making. And that's the toughest. Who am I going to appoint?
Right.
And that's where professionals can step in and like elder law attorneys and help give suggestions on who that appropriate person may be.
So important. Is that where legacy planning comes in?
Yeah, so then we move on to legacy planning, which is more about not only taking care of yourself today, but also how you're going to leave your assets. What values are you going to pass on to other people? And so that becomes a really important piece of the puzzle for those solo agers. Advance directives, as I mentioned, are important. Those are the healthcare proxy, power of attorney, having a will, so that most Americans don't have wills. And a will allow that person to determine who's going to handle their estate and how are their assets going to pass and to whom. Perhaps they should have a revocable living trust. That'll make it easier for family who's at a distance or friends that they're going to be involved with their estate. Revocable living trusts would be a better path generally than just having a will. You should have both. And then beneficiary designations on your IRAs and life insurance. All of it's got to be looked at as part of an overall comprehensive plan. For the solo ager, it's heightened because of the lack of immediate family support.
Right. I'm just thinking of so many people who do live alone, and when you put that you talked about pets, and you might not think about that.
Yeah.
And my sister is now taking care of a pet because a person passed away, and nobody knew, where the pet should go. So, very good point right there. So let's talk. So many solo agers are alone. Right. Are there support systems, or talk a little bit about support systems for someone living on their own like this?
Yeah. So that's critical that there's a structure here for support. And there are three areas I would look to. One is friends, creating relationships. And second would be getting involved in the community. So there are a number of community organizations, senior centers, libraries. If you have a hobby, connect to people who are going to share your interests. Be active. So being connected is so important. And then there are the professionals, healthcare professionals, counselors, elder law attorneys, all can step in and be part of that.
Okay. Very quickly, some misconceptions when it comes to solo aging.
Okay, real quick. They are not lonely, isolated people who are always depressed.
Right.
There are many who are active, living independently, enjoying life, participating in the community, making a difference.
Yeah.
And so those solo agers, we're going to support them.
That's great. A whole new term I never heard of. Well, it makes sense. Solo aging. More of us are, aging and doing it alone. Vincent, thank you again so much, and we will see you next week, next Wednesday.
That's correct.
All right.